Just to summarize, what is software testing? Software testing is testing the software which is developed, and it should meet the expectation of the client. Whatever the client has given me that this application should have this feature, this should be met. That is software testing in simple words. Just like you go to the market, you test a particular product before buying. That's let's say I go to buy a vegetable. I test it that it is rotten or it is ripe or it is raw, whatever. So that testing I do in the vegetable. So that is vegetable testing. The same thing when I do with the software, that is called software testing. Now, what are the parameter in which I should test? The parameter when I buy a vegetable, that are the parameters set by me, that it should not be rotten. That doesn't necessarily mean the set next person will come. Let's say my parameter is that I'll buy a vegetable which is not ripe, it is raw. Same thing, or other person comes, he tests it, his parameter may be different. He may think, no, I want ripe, it should not be raw. So for him the parameter of testing is different. For me, the same fruit I want raw, the same fruit someone other want ripe. So for me the testing will be, I will check it is not ripe. For him, he will check it that it is ripe. So here testing different. So testing is basically meeting the client expectation, because I am the client for the custom vegetable shop. Similarly, he is client to the vegetable shop. So meetings the client expectation is called testing. Similarly, in software also, meetings the client expectation, whatever he says, even if he says 4 plus 2 is equal to 10, that should be present in the application, and that is software testing. Irrespective of what is my logic and all, that doesn't matter. Whatever the client says, whatever the client's requirement is there, I need to fulfill that, and when I fulfill that and I do the testing, that is called software testing. Okay. Now, next is your type of software. So now, just like if you go for any product, there are different types. Similarly, we have different types of software in our industry. Okay, so let's understand that with a diagram. It will be better to understand. See, whatever I see here, whatever I use here, let it be a laptop, let it be a keyboard, let it be a mouse. What are these called? These are called hardware. Means basically the things which I can touch and see, that is called hardware. Whatever you are seeing, that is called hardware. But the same thing, the Zoom meeting you are carrying this in class, can you touch it? No, you cannot touch it. The PPT which I have opened, can you touch it? No, you cannot touch it. Only you can see it, but you cannot touch it. But the mouse, the keyboard, the laptop screen, these all I can touch it. If I understand in a layman term, that is hardware. Okay, so let's see. Okay, first will be the hardware, because hardware is the basic thing, because whenever the computer is developed, all the components are first integrated: monitor, CPU, mouse, keyboard. After that, you do whatever activities do. So the first component is your hardware. Okay, hardware. Now, on the top of it, let's say, just understand step by step. You go to a shop, okay? You go to the shop, you bought a laptop. So what is the first software that comes to your mind? Just understand, you go to the market and buy a particular laptop. So what is the first software that is installed?
Operating system.
Operating system, correct. That is the first software that is installed. Proceed. So you cannot go directly and install this application. See, this Zoom meeting itself, I cannot go directly and install Zoom meeting. Okay, I cannot go and directly install this Zoom meeting and all. For that, I need to have a operating system. Without an operating system, you cannot directly install your Zoom meeting or Chrome browser or whatever you have installed. Understanding or not? So on
Yes,
top of that, I am installing all this thing. Without that, there is no such thing that you can install. So that particular software on which other software. Okay, on top of the hardware, the system software sits. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, on the top of this system software, you have installed operating system. What you will install over that? You'll be installing this Chrome, this calculator, this Zoom meeting, this PPT, all this thing. That becomes an application software. Okay. So these are all applications, right? What you call this Chrome is an application, this Zoom is an application, this all these things are application, right? So these are called application the softwares. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So it sits on top of this system software. Okay. So this is the basic structure in which you are using a particular system. So you buy a hardware from the market. Okay. On top of that, you install the operating system. On top of that, your application software is installed. Now, there is one more software that is called programming software. So what is a programming software? Now, this system software which is developed with this application software which is developed, it must have been developed with a particular language, right? You must have heard of the C, C++, Java, Ruby on Rails, Python, all these things, right? One of it, you must have heard it in your lifetime. So what are these? These are the programming software with the help of which this system software or application software has developed. Understanding or not?
Yes, sir.
Next is your programming software, which is used to develop all this system software and application software. They developed using system software. System software. Okay. So these are basically your sorry. This is programming.
Programming software.
Sorry. My mistake. I wrote it. Okay. Okay. This is a programming software using which this application software and system software are developed. Okay. Now, when you write just this also you understand when you write the programming software, it's more of type English. Okay. If you have used any programming language, you'll see just not the exact English, but more like it is a English language only. Okay. So you write it in using English word basically, but it's in a different format. So it's a you need to learn it. But do your system, this is hardware, it understands this programming language? No, it doesn't understand this programming language. It understands only machine language. This hardware which you see, it understands machine language. How this machine will understand English word? No, you are understanding it because you know it, but machine will not understand. Machine will understand only machine language. So what is a machine language? 100101 is all. Okay. So the hardware understand machine language. So what is machine language? Anyone, any idea what is machine language? Hello? Sure.
No idea, sir. I do not know.
Okay. See, machine language is nothing but 0 and 1. 0 means off, 1 means on. You go, you on and off switch in your house, right? There is a switch for fan, there is a switch for light, there is a switch for everything, right? When you on, that is one. When you off, that is zero. That is also one type of hardware, right? This fans, this light, whatever you have in your system, that is also one type of hardware in which there is no software basically. That is also one type of hardware. So what language it understand? It understand the switch on, switch off. The switch on is one, switch off is zero. Clear? Same for
Ye-
your computer hardware also. It only understands 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay. So when you write a program in your programming language that is not directly understood by the system, that is converted to machine language, and this machine language is the language which is understood by the hardware of your system. So who converts this programming language to machine language? Now, have you seen like when two prime minister or two president of country meet? Well, let's say one prime minister may be knowing Hindi, other prime minister may be knowing Russia. If you have seen this recent visit of Indian prime minister to Russia, you must have there was a dinner hosted. So there you must have seen there were two persons present. Other than these two persons, these president of Russia and prime minister of India, there are two persons present there. What was the work of that person? Now this Russian president tells something in Russian language. Okay. So what he did, he converted this Russian language to Hindi to be understood by the Indian Prime Minister. Same goes for this Indian Prime Minister also. He also had one person with him who converts his Hindi language to the Russian language so that the Russian president can understand. Same goes here also. Now this programming language is understood by you, user, but that is not understood by the machine. That machine understand the machine language. So this programming language will convert to machine language using this middleman. Just like we had middleman to convert Russian to Hindi and Hindi to Russian, these middlemen are called interpreters. Okay, these middlemen are called interpreters. They interpret or they convert programming language to machine language. Understood how the basic structure of the laptop or any system you are using? Understood or not, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. First, I want to show you. But see, when you write the number 10, I just write number 10. But how the machine understand? It understand 1010. That means on, off, on, off. That is 10. Okay, every alphabet, every number, everything in the whatever you write. Okay, this T also has a binary code. This O also has a binary code. These letters have also binary code. Every letter, every numeric thing, everyone has a binary code associated with it, and that is the code which is understood by the machine. So we understood what is the basic structure. Okay, so this is the binary code for 10. Okay, so when we write 10, the machine language it understand 1010. That means on, off, on, off. Okay. Similarly, just see how actually it look like. If you write some programming language when it gets converted, it's look like 101010 like this. Just the picture it will come. So have you just read this fact, right? When the first Apollo mission was launched, okay, there is a lady, there was a particular lady who have coded the particular this mission. Okay, and when she piled up the book, that the book, the number of books when piled up, it was more than the height of this lady. Why? Because at that time there was no programming language. Everything what was written, it was written in the machine language. So if you see, just I'm writing 10, it is converting into 4 alphabet. Okay. Just if I write 2 letters in programming language, it get converted to 4 alphabet. Obviously, the machine language is more than the programming language. Okay. So for that reason, the number of lines of code which she has written, it was more than the height of her total height, basically. Why? Because in that time there was no programming language. Everything was written in machine language. And when you write the machine in the machine language, the it is huge actually. Let's say that just 5 letters in your programming language, that when converted to machine language, it may be 30, 40 letters. Understood?
Yes, sir.
See how it actually look like in the machine language. Just 0, 1, and 1. That's it. Sure. This is how basically your complete, you can say, flow, your system works in real time. Next. Everyone clear, right? This language
Yes,
is
sir.
software, all this thing. Okay, software versus hardware, let's learn. Then component also. Yeah, component of computer also we learned. Like in hardware, you can have input devices. So what is your input devices? This keyboard, this mouse, this your RAM, this your hard disk, your earlier it was floppy disk, this pen drive, memory card. These all are your storage devices. And what are the internal components? Internal component is your motherboard, your cooling fan, your some IC drivers. These are all your internal components. So this consists of your computer hardware. Now computer software we see system software and application software. Next. Next is why we need testing and who performs the testing. So why we need testing? Let's say there is a client who came and he gave some requirement. This developer sit and develop these requirements and just release it to the client. What's the needs of testing? Why he should pay extra to a testing team? What is the requirement of testing? Tell me. The best example is that you go to the market, you buy a mobile phone, okay? So, sorry, you buy a mobile phone. So, out of 1 in 1,000, there occurs a this factory defect or manufacturing defect. Yes or no? Done a manufacturing defect or not? Why? Because everyone is prepared in the same way. Development is done in the same way. They also have a team who do the testing. The testing is also done. Still, there is a defect happening in the final product. Although the product which have no defect and the product which is defect, both have gone through the same process. Both has gone through the same process of development. Both has gone through the same process of testing. Still, we see that there is a defect in one of the product. Why? Because it may happen that the testing for that may have not done it properly. Yes or no? So this is the best example why we need testing. If you don't do testing, it may happen that all the product will have defect. Why? Because see, when the developer develop it, he just see the technical requirements. He just put in the technical requirements and develop the thing. But the actual end product functionality, they don't test it. They'll just code it that yes, the button will be there, the button will do this activity, the button will do that activity and everything. They'll test it. But they don't actually test it that actually if I click the button that is doing this or not. It's not the work of the developer. That the tester have to do. Why? Because just forget about this. Just think yourself as you are just preparing a dish for your family. Okay, you are preparing a dish for your family. Now you are the developer for the dish. So okay, you put this salt, you put this all this thing, you this put this masala, this fruit, this sour, this all these things. But you prepare it. But it may happen that you forget to add salt in it, then you serve it. So finally, who will be eating it? All the guests who have came to eat your dish, they may point out that yeah, this is the issue with that particular dish. So now you became the developer, but you don't know the issue of that. You don't know the issue, the defect. But the guest who came, he may point out that this you don't have any salt added to it. So then that particular guest becomes the tester for you. Because developer is not God. He will do mistake. Okay, he is bound to do mistake. Either it may happen that you have not added salt at all, or it may happen that you have added salt, but it is more. In both the cases, it is not desired. So from where you will get the validation? If you directly serve to the guest who is your client, it will be a disaster. You will have a bad reputation. But intermediately, if you have one person from your family to test it, after he approves it, you give it to the guest, then you will have no problem. Let's say there is let's say your husband is there, or your son is there, or your daughter is there. You gave the dish to them first. They tested it. They told, yeah, you haven't added any salt. So they did the testing there. Then you rectified that defect, you added some salt. Again, you gave it. They then told, okay, now you're okay, your dish is okay. Then what you did, you gave that to the guest. Now the guest will be happy. The guest are your client. They don't found any defect. So for that reason, testing is mandatory. Understood or not this scenario, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Same goes for your software or any other product which is manufacturing product also. You cannot directly develop and give it to the client. You need to have a tester or a testing team who will test it, because it's 101% that the developer will do some miss, will do some issues in the development. It has to be fixed by the testing team, or else your testing, your application will have lot of defect when it's delivered to the client. Okay. So who performs the testing? Obviously, the tester who are there, testing engineers. Okay, they do the testing. It can be either of manual or of automation, but these are the guys who normally performs the testing in the application. Okay, for a client. Now, benefit of testing. So, what are the benefit of testing? So, improve software quality. Okay, obviously, if you fix all the defects of a software by testing, it will improve the quality of that particular software. Okay, and next is your enhanced customer satisfaction. Then obviously, if you give a product defect free, I paid, the client has paid you, right? If you give him a good product without any defect, obviously you will be satisfied. If you go to a market and buy a bike, it has lot of defect. The light is not working. The let's say brakes are not working. The engine oil is leaking. Why? Because the first thing, the testing has not been done. Second thing, you will not be satisfied. The same thing, if everything is working fine, that means everything is tested thoroughly, and you are also satisfied as a customer. Now, cost effectiveness. So how it improves the cost also? See, if as a client I buy a bike which have different issues, brake is not working, your oil is leaking, your something is lights are not working, I have to add some more cost also to that to fix all this thing. It may happen that, see, don't think that it is only the client cost. Now, if I have bought a bike under warranty, it will be there for the initial first year or second year, it will be there. Now, what it will happen? If it is having issues, I'll go again to that particular brand and tell them you box fixed it. You have the warranty, I have the warranty for 1 year. You fix all the issues which is there. Now it will fix it. When it will fix it, it will do for free. It will do for free, but when it is fixing it, it has its own cost. The parts cost, the labor cost, every cost is there. Who will bear it? The client is not bearing it. It is beared by the company who have sold the bike. So here, who is making loss? The client is not making loss. He has bought the bike for the same price. He is okay with that. He is giving you fix it. Now you are making loss. The company who has sold the bike is making loss. Why? Because it's a miss from your side. You have to pay it. Similarly, when you design a software and give to the client, don't think that once you give it, it is okay. Same for the when you buy a bike from the client, same you when you deliver a software to your client also. They will also have an agreement. If anything occurs within this time period, you are the one who have to fix it without any money being paid to you. Understood? So here what will happen? You have to deploy some engineers to fix it, or you have to deploy some developer to fix the code. So what will happen? Ultimately, it will be a loss to your company only. So if you have tested it in the first go, so that will also improve the cost of your particular thing. So that is a cost effectiveness. Understood or not? This point, everyone.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So whenever you have any doubt, just ask it there only. Don't wait for the end. Okay. Now, reduce maintenance cost. Okay. So what is the maintenance cost? Now see, when I have bought a bike, just when I bought a bike and it is everything is okay. There is a expiry period of 1 year, right? In that expiry period, you must have seen that you get this free services, three free services. So what they do in these free services? They maintain your bike, right? They maintain your bike, or they do something from their side. You don't have to pay for it. There are three free services. Okay. Even though your bike is running properly, everything is okay, still there are three free services, because the bike may be running okay from outside. There some be minor what minor changes which is made when you go for free services, which you don't know, because it doesn't impact so much that it is known to you. As a technical person, they know it. So they do some servicing and do some changes to the part and all. Okay. So if it is a completely okay bike and everything is tested perfectly, and if you go to them, they also will have less effort, because let's say if you have run, let's say your something has your tire has torn, or some minor changes to that they will do. But let's say it is a faulty bike. Every time you go for free maintenance, they are also have to do a lot of things. So here also your maintenance effort is getting reduced if it is a properly tested bike. Same goes for your software also. It reduces the maintenance effort. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now next is your increased security. So how it will increase security? Now see, nowadays you must have all be aware that there is a data leak. Now and then you are getting this news, right? Not this small application, big application are also having this problem. They're also having data leak. Yes or no?
Yes,
You have heard or not?
Yeah.
The customer
Yes.
data leak and all, it is happening. Why? Why? Because it is not properly. See, testing are also of different type. Not that you just test the functionality that if there is a e-commerce application, I place an order, it is working. If it's an Amazon application, I place an order for TV, that is working. No, this is also one type of testing. There are other types of testing also. What are the other types of testing? Security testing is one testing which nowadays it's coming more into view. Why? Because nowadays this hacking has become very common. Okay, someone sitting in other part of the world comes and hack your site. You are sitting in your country. This online frauds and all are increasing now these days, right? Why? Because hacking have increased. Now, why it is increasing and why it is able to make an impact? It is able to make an impact. Why? Because you don't have done the security testing. That means no security feature has been implemented in your system. And if there is no security, just like you think you are living in a house, it has no boundary, it has no door, it has no security, right? But there is a house. There is no boundary, there is no doors and all. So it has no security. So anyone can come and enter your house. Same goes for your application also. If you design a application and you just test the functional parameter, it will not do. You have to test the security parameter also. Why? Because if you don't test it, this hackers will hack your application, go inside your application and steal valuable data from your application. So if you do testing also, this will also increase the security of your application, because nowadays our application without security is useless, even though it offers you a lot of feature. Why? Because the basic and the first principle of application that it will not disclose its customer data. Now see, if I go to a particular application and I give my details, my name, username, this mobile data, all this thing. Now it uh, sell it to the dark web, this company. So that is a loss in my privacy. My mobile number, my name, my email ID, that is my private data. No one has right to leak my private data. I have given that company my private data only because it has authorized me that it will keep it secret, and I willingly gave it to him, gave it to that website. Now, that website doesn't has any right to sell it to some other hackers or some other applications, because I have not given my consent. So this is also, if you go for international laws also, no website can also means breach it. That's the basic law. But if that application only don't have any security, willingly or unknowingly of that application owner, the hacker will come and steal the data. Okay. So for that reason, if you have done the testing also, it will increase your security. Just an example I'll tell you. You can see that nowadays you must be getting calling for this credit card, this that card, this offer, this all. Have you given your number to these guys? Have you ever thought of that? Have you ever thought of this thing that I get call from this company that you do this scheme? I got from this company you invest in this scheme. I get a call from this company you do that. But you have never gave number to these guys. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes, but
But you are getting it, right? How you are getting it? They are not just doing magic and getting your number, right? You must have given your information to some XYZ site who willingly, see, there are some site who willingly also sell your data. Just remember that there are some sites who willingly sell your data also, just to make money. Because when you sell customer private data in dark web, they get a huge money from that. Just don't think that you are an important person and your data doesn't matter. No, even if you are no one, your data matters, and if your data is also sold, they will also get money. Everyone data matters in this world, because everyone has a bank account, everyone has a personal ID, everyone has its own investment. So don't think that you are no one, your data doesn't matter. Everyone's data matter, even though you don't have any investment or anything, because there is something which is valuable and which can be taken from you. Everyone, every time. So there are some site who willingly give your data to the web, dark web, or dark web means your hackers, I say, okay, or your unwillingly, because security is not implemented in that application. Okay, so who is willingly give, that is a different case, that you cannot do anything because that will willingly give. So you have to be only alert by yourself that I have to not give my data to this XYZ site. Okay, now who unknowingly giving it because security testing has not been done. So if you have done security testing, then it will also increase the security of that application. Okay, so this is why you get some unwanted call from some unwanted organization asking you to do this, that, this, that. So they are getting data from this only, right? Either from the site who have willingly gave them, or from the site who have no security and they have hacked it from them. Or else how they will get your number? You are not yeah, means let's say you are not someone who is famous. Okay, you are just no one in the society, just a normal common human, common citizen. Okay, so how they are getting your data? So this is how they get your data. Everyone has experienced this, right? You are getting calls which unwanted calls where you have not given ever thought of giving your number, right?
Yeah.
This is how it happens. Now, better performance, obviously, application who have no defect and all, it will have a better performance, obviously. Okay. Now, see, here also one more type of testing is there. That is your performance testing. Okay. So what is this? This performance testing is that, let's say there is a site. There are two sites who is doing the same activity. One may do it in 5 seconds, one may do it in 1 second. The same activity, same application, everything is same. Someone do the same activity in 5 seconds, someone may do the same activity in 1 second. And also both of them are in the same Wi-Fi network, same internet speed. Why? Because performance testing has not been done. So testing are of multiple types. Okay. So here the performance testing has not been done. If the performance testing has been done, it should do it in a faster way. Okay, so there comes the performance testing also. So if you do the performance testing also, it will, but it will increase the performance of an application. And when it is required, the best example is your, if someone is living in India, it's Big Billion Day in Flipkart, and someone living outside, let's say Australia, so it is Black Friday sale. Okay, which happens in Amazon. So what happens basically in this time period? In this time period, what happens? Let's say in Flipkart or Amazon, general user who, average user who eats the application per day is, let's say, 1 crore. But during this Big Billion Day or this your Black Friday day, what will happen? As the prices drops and it is cheaper, the traffic which comes or the traffic which hits the application, it becomes 10 crores or 20 crores, 10 times or 20 times. So what will happen? It should be able to handle it, right? That is also one performance. If 20 crore users hit me, my server should respond. Or else what will happen? Server will crash. Just like, just think of a this your motorbike only. Your motorbike limitation is that it should have maximum passenger weight is, forget a motorbike. You have gone through lift, right? In lift, you have seen only 8% are allowed. Only person up to 330 kg are allowed. You have seen this or not? This notification in the lift. If you go inside a lift, some lift are there, which will show you this warning that only 8% are allowed.
Yeah, only
Only
this much weight is allowed.
this much weight is allowed. Why? Because that is the capacity. That is its performance. Its performance limitation is that 440 kg. After 440 kg, the performance is hampered for that lift. Okay. Same goes for your this site also. When there is a Big Billion Day, when there is a all this offer days, when the prices drop, instead of 1 crore, this 20 crore user will hit it. Now the server, just assume it as your lift. It has also a certain capacity. If let's say its capacity is 1 crore, just like 440 kg in the lift, 500 kg person entered the lift, and here 10 crore person hit that server, it will crash. It will not work. So for that, whatever is your expected target of audience, for that also you have to do performance testing. So it will increase your performance of the application. That means you have to make 10 crore request to the particular application at a time and see that your server size or your server capacity is able to handle it or not. If it is not, then you have to increase the server capacity also. So it will increase your performance. Hello? Someone is okay. Now testing, obviously early detection of issues. Before going to the client, you detect the issues earlier. Compliance and regulation. This compliance and regulation I was just discussing, right? This hacker thing. You cannot breach the international law of exposing the customer data in dark web. So that is one compliance, right? If you have tested it thoroughly, that also you'll meet. So there are various compliance and regulation in different countries. So this only can be avoided if you have doing the testing thoroughly. Just example, if you don't follow the compliance, let's say you leak the data outside your organization. So what will happen? Some company will be banned in that particular country which don't meet the compliance. And it also have happened, you know it. So testing also helps to maintain the compliance and regulation. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Now competitive advantage, yes. Now see this picture. Now if you go to a market and of a bike company and another XYZ bike company and there is a ABC bike company. Now 10 customer goes and buy buy bike from that ABC company and 10 customer goes and buy bike from XYZ company. Okay. Now both have 10 customer bought it. Now this 10% who are buying from ABC company, they are having defects in their bike. And this 10% who are buy it from XYZ company, they don't have any complaints. Now, there are 10 more people who are friend of these both 20 peoples. Okay, who have bought from XYZ company and who have bought from ABC company. Now, they also want to buy bike. So they just suggest this person from ABC company and XYZ company. And this ABC company told, yeah, we are having issues with our bike. And this XYZ company told, yeah, we don't have any issue, we are okay. So now this 10%, whom bike they will buy? Even though the look and feel of ABC company is good, they will not buy it. They will go and buy XYZ company bike because it has no issues. So here, if you have no issues, it is also giving you competitive advantage. Yes or no? Hello? Understood?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Now, next is enhanced brand reputation. Obviously, if you have no defects, means your brand reputation, this 10% now came to the XYZ company. Why? Because its brand reputation is there. Its customer feedback is good. So it also enhances brand reputation. Okay. Next is your till now everyone understood everything. I need a yes from everyone.
Yeah.
Ratika and Khushbu.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, these are theory we are learning because these are all important from interview point of view. Okay. Now
Yeah.
see. Yeah. Now see. You must have seen these two terms may be used interchangeably. Quality assurance and quality control. Okay. So when these two terms come, that everyone thinks that it is same thing only. Same quality assurance and quality control both are same. But there is a little difference, basically. Okay. But this word is normally used by most of them in industry as a single term only. Means everyone, 90% of the people in industry think what is quality assurance, the same thing is your quality control also. But there is a little change. Okay, so what is the change? Let's understand. Now, first understand what is quality assurance. Then we'll understand what is quality control. Okay. Now see, you are, let's say, you are building your house. Okay, let's say you are building your house. Okay. Now, nowadays, people are giving to contractors. But if you go to your previous generation and all, okay, they don't give it to the contractors. They themselves sit on the site, see how the building is done. Even if it is a contractor also, instead of you, he is sitting and see how it is being done, right? You have to sit there. Now, it may happen that he is mixing 1 kg cement in 1 kg sand, whatever composition. Okay, but you think no, no, no. Instead of 1 kg cement, it should be 2 kg. Okay, so when you do this testing, okay, during the time of development only, you tell that instead of 1 kg cement, you take 2 kg. That is the quality assurance you are doing. That means during the process of development of that particular house, you are telling that doing the testing that this much cement will be done. No, this should be this side. XYZ. Okay. Whatever testing you are doing. So this is one testing also, right? You came and saw that he's putting 1 kg cement with 1 kg sand. You did testing. No, no, no. I want testing that it should be 2 kg cement and 1 kg sand. This is also a testing you are doing, right? This you are doing when the house is getting built. So this type of testing is called as quality assurance. Okay. Now your house is fully developed. After that, you go and see, yeah, this tile is not slanted in the proper way that water will go on. Everything is completed. Every development work is done. Okay. You say that this switch is not working, or let's say your switch, you should put one XYZ component here. This all you are doing after your house is built. That is called quality control. Okay. The testing which you do during the period of the development of that particular software or particular XYZ thing, that is called quality assurance. The testing which you do after the development is done, that is called quality control. Now everyone understood? Yes or no? Hello? No, yes, no, no. Atika?
Yes, sir.
Khushbu? Melanin?
Yes, sir. Sorry, my computer got hanged.
Oh, okay. What about Khushbu? You are on mute. Did you understood? These are very important from your point of view. Okay. So they'll ask you what is quality assurance and what is quality control. And also, if you're applying for a position, you must check for what you are applying. Okay. Is it quality assurance or quality control? Because quality assurance you cannot test unless you have the coding knowledge. Because when the software is developed, you need to have the knowledge of code. Then only you can see that the code is being developed in this way. Just like you must have the knowledge of construction. Then only you can tell that instead of 1 kg cement, you have to put 2 kg cement. But for quality control, when the complete house is developed, even though you don't have the knowledge of construction, you can just see the final house and think as a customer point of view that yes, this switch is not there, this slope is not there, this this shade is not there. These are nothing related to your construction. Okay, so you guys will not be applying for quality assurance. You guys will be applying for quality control. anyways, this word is used interchangeably. It may happen that for the quality control thing, they must have used the word quality assurance. So this word is used interchangeably only in the market. So don't get confused, but this is the actual difference. Okay. So mostly they will tell QA only, even though it is QC, they will tell QA only. So this is how industry is working, but this is the major difference. Okay. Understood?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, next is job responsibility of a software tester. Sure. What is the job responsibilities of a software tester? Obviously, you will be testing all the parameters of that applications. Like you'll be testing whether performance is working fine, whether security is working fine, whether functionality is working fine, whether look and feel is working fine. Everything you have to test it. And how training can help. Obviously, in this training, we'll be covering all the topics which is important from interview point of view and all the topics which will be using in the organization as a tester to carry on your activities. Okay. Now, if I talk about the future of software tester, okay. So nowadays you must be hearing of this news that AI is coming into picture. So you may also get scared of if AI is coming into picture, then our job will also go. No. Let understand who will be more impacted with AI. Now, what AI will do? Do you think that which AI came into market, it is not tested? It is also tested. Even though it's AI, it is also tested that it is working properly or not. Or let's say AI has been built to serve the human. Instead, it will start killing the human. Can it be possible? It has to be tested that it is really serving the human or not. Then only it will be sent to the market, or else it will happen that it will kill the human instead of serving the human. Some driverless car has been developed. Without a driver, it is running. So it has also been tested that it is really seeing the uh, right path or not. Or else it will happen, there is a stick, it will detect it as a car. Or there is a car, it will detect it as a train. So that testing also has to be done. Even though it's AI, the testing has to be done. But what will happen? This programming language, which the developer are developing, C, C++, Java, Ruby, these all are such big things in the market now. That, yeah, programming language, this logic, that logic, all these things. But what will happen in the next future? Just your normal English will be your programming language. There will be no programming language. That means instead of writing all this coding, you just write this, I want this. It will just do a code for you. But did it do the testing? No. It just did the coding for you. But testing ultimately will be done by the tester only. It has developed the code, but will certify that it is working properly. It is the tester only. So if you think about the future, yeah, developer may have impact because the day English become the new coding language instead of this C, C++, Java, Ruby, and all those things because of AI. Yeah, there will be no need of developer. But ultimately, the code which will be developed by the AI, that is again going to be tested by the tester only. The tester is having no impact, but the developer may have impact because of this AI. So there is no need of what fear if you have a tester that AI is coming, what will happen, job will go and all those things. Okay. Now, just think of this software which has come to the market that you feed a script. Actually, it is still in the market also. It's already came. There's no need to go to locations. There is no need to go to bring real artist. Okay, there is a software AI which you feed something. It will generate a movie for you with locations, with characters, everything. No need of going to these locations, going shoot them, being notice and all. Nowadays, this software also came, but even though it has developed, some tester has to see and test that uh, it has done it in the correct way. Or else, let's say you have told it to show the scene of Australia, it may show you the scene of France. It may happen, right? Because at the end of the day, this AI is also a program. It may replace a program, but at the end of the day, it is a program and it is working based on the data which is present in the Google. Now, just Google search, that is also AI, you can tell, right? But just assume if you search something which is common, let's say I search about food, a lot of result will come. But let's say there is a small shop in your, just forget about food, there is a shop, big shop. Okay, there is a big shop. You search about that in Google, lot of thing will come. Okay, but let's say there is a street food with no name, nothing, just a roadside corner, small street food. Just search about him in the Google, nothing will come. Here AI doesn't work. Here your AI will not work. AI completely depends on the data which is present in the web. It's a complete dependent on the data which is present in the web. If data is present about a particular thing in the web, then it will work. Just you Google search is just, you can assume just an AI. So you search, ask Google about a famous stuff, it will give you everything. But ask about a small shop with no name, it cannot answer it. Why? Because the data is not present. So ultimately, at the end of the day, AI also is dependent on the data. So testing done by human cannot be replaced. Now, someone has to test that mm, small shop which has no name. Now AI cannot do because it doesn't have the information about it. But as a human, I can go and test it, test the food of that shop, test the look and feel, test the all the regulation are maintained or not. Because I can go as a human, but the AI cannot go because data is not present. So here AI fails. So ultimately human has to do testing for the new features. Now, whenever testing is done, it is done for what? The new features or the new development, and new things is not present in the web. It has to be entered, the data has to be entered in the web, then only it will be present. So it cannot work for the new things, and testing is always done on the new things. So tester cannot be replaced, even though AI comes. Okay, clear everyone?